I think that was the first time I ever asked if anyone was ready. Normally, I just secretly start recording.
Yep. I never get warned. You just go, and I'm usually in the middle of saying something.
And then I include it before the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, and welcome to the ParkStop podcast, episode 34. My name is Alicia Stella. With me, as always, is my co-host, Ian.
Hey, kids.
Joining us today is a very special guest, digital content creator Patrick Dougal.
Hello! Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on. We are talking about Avengers Campus, and since Ian and I have not been to Avengers Campus, we thought it would be fun to have you on because I did see your videos on the YouTube, and you did get to do the things and try the foods. So I thought it would be cool to ask you about your experience.
Yeah, I did all the things, and it was a good time.
And if you haven't checked him out, Patrick has a really cool YouTube channel. We'll link in the description, and you can see all the stuff that we're going to be talking about. But before we get to Avengers Campus, I kind of wanted to talk about recent news for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, because we've been waiting for some kind of news besides the rides that may open over the course of the 18th month celebration time window. But they finally announced Harmonious is starting October 1st. And also, out of nowhere, the Magic Kingdom is getting a new show for the 50th anniversary called Disney Enchantment.
So we're finally going to see what the Stargate is for in the middle of the lagoon?
Yes. Okay, wait, Patrick, how do you feel about the giant things in the lagoon at Epcot?
Okay, I saw them for the first time about a week ago, and I mean, it's not great, but I also don't hate. I have to see the show. It has to be worth it. Like, if you're gonna ruin that view, at least make it worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like there was a give and take where, okay, we're gonna take down the Fountain of Nations, but we're gonna replace it with this daytime fountain thing in the lagoon, and it's like
I didn't see the fountains working.
Right, no, they're still in the testing process. And when they are working, it's strange because it's just like the wind picks it up and it all just goes away. But Fountain of Nations did the same thing. Walk into Starbucks, you could get soaked on a windy day. So at least this is further back in the lagoon, but then again, it's also lagoon water that it's squirting, I assume.
Ew.
Beautiful.
But yes, I agree. It is really going to be dependent on how good the show is going to be, like a bunch of Disney songs in different languages. So already I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are Epcot purists, maybe, that are be like, what does this have to do with anything? And then you have to remind them that World Showcase is about other countries.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yeah, but Disney songs. And it's like, oh, come on, it's Disney World.
Gotta shove those IPs in.
I'm okay with it as long as it's entertaining. I love Happily Ever After. We were talking before the show that, will Happily Ever After come back? Or is Disney Enchantment the new thing? Or originally when I heard Disney Enchantment, I was like, maybe it's just they added projection mapping to Main Street, but it's still technically Happily Ever After with a new tag or something.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. I really love Happily Ever After, and if it doesn't come back, I feel like that was such a short-lived show compared to something like Wishes.
I mean, compared to Wishes, yeah, but compared to Epcot Forever, maybe not.
True.
Ironically, the shortest-lived show of all the nighttime shows has Forever in the title.
Of course it does.
There's an asterisk at the end of Forever.
I think it's neat that they're going to do the projection mapping on the Main Street. I think Disneyland has shows like that, right? Or at least one show like that.
Yeah, we've had multiple shows where they've been doing the Pixar fireworks, Disney Mix Magic, even they added for the 60th for the 60th anniversary fireworks show. I think Disneyland Forever fireworks. Yeah, so many forevers.
Right. How long was that celebration? Was that 18 months or?
Yeah, that was I would say almost 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So maybe at the end of 18 months, we'll get Happily Ever After presented by Pandora Jewelry come back. I don't know. One thing we kind of heard rumors that they were going to do projection mapping on Main Street. I thought it was just going to be Happily Ever After with new, a tag or whatever, but we kind of heard about that. Something we didn't hear about is the kites, Disney kite tails at Animal Kingdom. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that either. I'm still a little what is this?
we have this kite technology left over from Epcot forever. What do we do with it? Well, we have this like amphitheater for Rivers of Light that we're never going to use again. Simba kites. There we go. We got it.
Oh man.
So
So
during the day,
bad.
because heaven
It's so
forbid
bad.
we keep this park open at night, but during the day they'll be doing multiple show times of jet skis flying kites by, and the kites are shaped like Simba, Zazu, Baloo, and King Louie and other animals. Some are 30 feet long.
Really just breaking the bank with this, huh? Jet skis and kites.
I sound like I'm making fun of it, but I'm really looking forward to it.
No, it didn't Islands of Adventure have this back in like the 90s as well?
It's any show that existed at Islands of Adventure is lost on me, because even when I
Oh.
went in the late 90s, early 2000s, I didn't see any shows. I was too busy on the roller coasters and stuff. So
I don't think it even was a show. They just had people with jet skis and kites just in the lagoon randomly. They're just like, here's a thing.
Epcot, or
I
at
hope
least
that's
Seven Seas
real.
Lagoon would at least have Goofy like skiing by for no reason. So like it's
Yeah.
not it's Disney tradition to just have random things go by. Like we have the nighttime light up parade thing in the Seven Seas Lagoon. So why not a random Simba kite flying by?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I'll watch it, I guess, if I'm walking by it.
You have to be seated in the amphitheater. You're gonna have to
I
get a
don't
fast
sit in the
pass for it.
amphitheater. Nope, that's definitely not happening.
It looks like Fastpass is coming back. They uncovered all the machines. By the time this comes out, that'll already be old news, and I'll have to delete that.
Is that it for shows? What else we got? Remy?
The different Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is going to open October 1st. That's where I'll be. I'm not going to Magic Kingdom. It's I'm going to Epcot. That's where the real. I might stay now for Harmonious. I was not planning on that. I was just going to get there at like 3 a.m. so I could end up. If they do boarding groups for Remy, oh my God, I'm going to be so upset. Because like I've had a park reservation for months for October 1st, which means I only have 2 empty slots that I can use as an annual pass holder to make my Disney reservations. And if I'm wasting it on an Epcot reservation for months and I don't get a boarding group to Remy, oh, I'm going to be mad.
Listen, at least you're not paying single day tickets out
That's
here.
right. That's right. Yes. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, that's a very good point. But at least if you buy a single day ticket, you get a park reservation with it. My annual pass only gives me 3 floating, reservations at a time. So I'm paying for a whole year, and I can only go three reservations at a time, and one of them is from months from now. So
Yeah, I have a very good feeling once they return the annual pass, quote unquote, program back to Disneyland, it's going to be exactly like that.
Oh boy,
with reservations.
Yeah, I think they're going to stick with reservations too.
I'm worried the Disneyland one's going to be like tiered, and not like gold, silver like that. It's going to be like times of the year tiered or something. Like you can have the spring pass, or you can have the summer pass, and the summer pass is 8 times more expensive.
We shall see, Josh Damara. We're all hanging on your shoulders.
Well, we're supposed to
Pretty
find out by
much.
December, right? I think by December.
They said before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 31st of December.
Amazing.
For Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, the most important piece of news: 50 golden statues, right?
Where are they? You have to find them
Cool.
yourself.
Is there like an ultimate scavenger hunt that because I can only get 3 park passes, I can only go to 3 out of the 4 parks to find them?
I feel like statues is going to be a little misleading too. I get a feeling they're going to be small if you have to look for them.
They call them sculptures. I'm saying statues. The word is sculptures.
That's better.
And
that's better.
The concept art image they showed looked like those sculptures that are already in like the hub area of Magic Kingdom. So like I wonder if there's going to be little
I feel
ones.
like they're pretty large. I have a friend who has been working on the digital sculptures of them in Imagineering,
cool.
and they I think they're pretty like standard size.
I hope so.
Sweet. I like how they call them the Disney Fab 50, because like the Fab 5 is Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, whatever. So like the Fab 50 is expanding the universe of who they consider the most important characters. So it would be interesting to see who they consider to be the important
Who
ones.
doesn't make the cut?
Right. Who does? Okay, so that's, I mean, other than Tron Light Cycle Power Run or whatever we're calling it with the slash in the middle of the name, I don't know how you say that, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which should be opening within the 18th month window, which means one in 2022 and one in 2023, maybe. Other than those, and like a whole bunch of cupcakes and merchandise, I don't think there's any. That's all the news for the 50th anniversary.
Quick question, just because I even don't even know, because I feel like this date has moved around. Is Space 2020 like ever opening?
We were just talking about that.
I almost did a spit take. I'm drinking water. Yes. What were we talking about? We were joking about the future and how we were gonna like have robots make our appointments
robot
for
butlers
us.
and be in space. And I said you were going to eat lunch at Space 220.
And I was like, no, it's not open yet. And we were talking about like 40 years from now. Yes. They're supposedly they're hiring.
1st.
They're hiring. Yeah, exactly. There you go. I'm going to be there October 1st at Epcot. I will make I can't get into Oga's Cantina. I've been trying to make a reservation for Oga's Cantina since the parks reopened, and they're not doing standby. So like I have not been in Oga's since opening day of Galaxy's Edge. That's how long it's been.
I've never been so far. Soon. So yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, good luck, because I apparently have to be up at 3 a.m. to make a reservation for Oga's.
I can do
the
that.
capacity of Oga's is like 20.
I guess they might still be doing social distancing, so it might be 8. There's like 8 reservations, 8 people for the whole day, every day, and even 60 days out at 8 a.m. I was out of luck. So, speaking of reservations, boarding groups, and capacity, Avengers Campus.
That's what it's known for.
Yes, I mean it's not the best segue, but that is a lot of what the coverage was. Although now I don't believe there's a long wait to get into the land anymore.
No, I mean, I've only been opening day, so that was an experience. But yeah, from what I've heard, especially, I think in the morning, there's still a line to get in, but kind of towards the end of the day, you can just stroll in through any entrance or exit.
That's cool. I mean, you still have to get a boarding group for the ride, but
correct.
For the new ride. And like I mentioned before, you have really great YouTube videos out going into the ride and trying the food and looking at all the merchandise. And you had a really good video of the Spider-Man swinging thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing's cool.
What is it like in person? The only complaint I have is there's like a long delay between going from the human person to the robot person.
Yeah, it's kind of random, but like I was just happy. Like I thought this was gonna be like a one-time like thing a day, but they like throw that thing up like 10 to 12 times a day, which is kind of crazy. It's like on the hour every hour.
Yeah,
nice.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, so you can catch it anytime, but like, and there's like I believe there's like 7 or 8 different like kind of flips that he does. So if you see it like once during the day, you see the next, he might be doing a somersault or just like flailing around or like some of them.
That's on purpose. See, I saw 3 or 4 different videos and I was like, oh, sometimes it looks like he's not hitting his mark right or he's not doing the pose right. So I thought he was just flailing like, oh no, the robot's malfunctioning. But if it's on purpose, that makes a lot more sense. Because there was one where he did like the really good Spider-Man pose and I was like, that's the best one. That is so cool.
Yeah, apparently there's multiple different. I mean, who knows to say that sometimes it does mess up, but there apparently are like 7 to 8 different modes where like sometimes like he doesn't do it perfectly, or sometimes he does do it perfectly. So they'll be different every time you see it.
That's
really
great.
Cool. I'm very happy they're keeping that up. That thing's cool.
Yeah, unlike the Fantasyland Flying Dragon, this one doesn't go over guest areas. So maybe there's or the hovering ships in Galaxy's Edge or whatever. Like maybe this one will actually stick around.
Yeah, hopefully. But there is like a little delay between the actor and the stuntronic, what they want to call it.
Yeah, like I just imagine the stuntronic back there, like going through all its prep things and being clipped in or whatever. But there's Tom Holland talking still. Like they recorded like the vamping that goes on while you're waiting, like so that it doesn't like it almost feels like he's like Tom Holland is backstage being clipped into an apparatus, going, "Okay, let's try it this time. Maybe it's gonna work." And it's like they have all this pre-recorded dialogue to make up for the fact that they know it's gonna take a long time, and it's weird that they planned for it because it's awkward while the music's like do 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 while you're waiting for it to happen. But then it happens and everyone cheers though. But yeah, I do like the little like the mix of because they have to have like two actors. They have the beginning actor doing all that. Sorry, I'm ruining the magic. The beginning actor like doing all the somersaults and the funny stuff, and then he goes back, and then the robot goes, and then another actor like comes down with the web, and then climbs the wall. Like I guess it could be the same actor. He's just running underneath, but I assumed it's two.
I think it's definitely two, and then you actually have the meet and greet one too.
That's
that
right.
Comes out.
Then you have the ground one who gets all the credit. Didn't do anything.
Correct.
It's like the Prestige. They all get mad at each other. The one guy gets all the glory.
I have to do the 3 minutes at the beginning. That sets up everything. I do more stunts. And then the other one's like, no, I'm more important because I have to walk down a wall upside down. And the other one's like, whatever. I get to sign autographs and get photos. And then the robot's like, no one likes me. So anyway.
Yeah, the first two guys are just like, I have to work for like a minute every hour.
The robot's doing all the heavy lifting.
For real.
That's awesome.
Is that on top of the Spider-Man ride?
Yeah, it's on top of the web building, the Worldwide Engineering Brigade.
You've just totally bought into this whole premise, haven't you?
Oh, 100%.
Makes it more fun, I would imagine.
Because I know I'd be into it. I like, before we even get into it, I've already said, like, I think the world building that, like, this area for Avengers Campus and the web labs and everything used to be a Stark Industries, almost like a car manufacturing plant. And then it was used as the Strategic Scientific Reserve, which was like the precursor to S.H.I.E.L.D. Like there's so many levels of theming. It reminds me of Dino Land USA, which is the weirdest comparison.
Obviously.
But yeah, getting to the Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure. Patrick, can you wait? How many times have you been on the ride?
I've been on it 5 times.
5 times.
So you don't like it much.
Well, I did. Okay, so I went on it 3 times in one day, and then the second day I did 2 times.
So
what
do you think?
Second time?
Let me preface that the 3 times I went on one day was a media day, so I had access to it. Yeah, that's why I got on.
Because you're special, we get it. But like, wait, how'd you get on 2 times on opening day?
The first time I got a boarding group, and then at the end of the night on opening day, they just like let a little bit of standby in, like at the very last like 15 minutes of park open.
That's amazing.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna scoop in here real quick.
Yeah, no doubt.
Scoop. Funny you
Not
say
yet.
scoop.
We won't mention that one.
Spider-Man. Yes. Oh, we're talking about the new Spider-Man ride.
Yep, wrong Spider-Man ride.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask, like, how is the actual like web slinging? You did it 5 times in one day. Like, were your arms tired?
2 days.
No. Oh yeah, 3 times in one day.
Yeah, 2 days. But yes, even after one round, it is. I think it's more tiring than Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, because Toy Story Mania, only one hand and you're doing like a small motion. This one you gotta really reach out.
Yeah, it looks like
so the first time I did it, I was like doing the actual like Spider-Man poses, and by like the 5th time I was just like serving pies with my like open face hand. Like at some point you don't even have to like do the motion anymore, you can just like point at things. But
I almost think that's more cool, just like point at that.
Yeah, but like I don't think a lot of people know, there's like more to it in strategic. Like you can actually like if you like swing your hand out and then like create a fist and pull it back, you can actually like pull objects, and you can like you can like grab something and swing it across. Like I'm kind of like blown away how like accurate that it actually reads, because that was my biggest thing, is like I think a lot of people comparing it to like Ninjago at Legoland, which
Yeah.
I've never ridden. But apparently that is not great at like reading. But like this thing is pretty accurate.
Because Ninjago, I think, has multiple types of like karate chops or whatever. And I wrote it, and halfway through, I was like, okay, it doesn't matter what I do. It seems to be doing the same thing on the screen. So I'm just going to keep just reaching out because, like the going up and the uppercut and this and that, like it's not reading what I'm doing. So, but like, yes, I think this uses a different kind of motion tracking. And I saw someone like reached out and then pulled back and knocked over a bunch of barrels by pulling it toward them. And I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yes. And then I did try it with my downloadable content web slinger, which was great.
You literally bought into all the hype.
100%. I have a Spider-Man one and an Iron Man repulsor. I did not use the Iron Man repulsor on the ride, but I did use my Spider-Man, and I got electric webs. I still don't know if it affects the score. It just like looks cool because I feel like I got a better score when I didn't use it, but it looks cool. So yeah, I bought into that.
I would totally buy the Iron Man one, but hold on. If I want the
Iron Man,
if I want the Iron Man one, don't I have to buy the base unit first and then the Iron Man unit thing?
Yes, you have to buy a power band, and then you have to buy whatever accessory you want to add to the power band.
Because the initial
it comes out to like $50.
Oh my god. the initial it's like the wand, but you can only use it on the one ride. The power band thing does add some kind of like rapid fire or something. Like or it shoots two at the same time. There was something that it does on its own besides looking cool, because it is still a toy when you're not playing on the ride.
Yeah.
So like does the Iron Man like light up and make sounds?
It does.
See,
Ooh,
I'd still enjoy it, even not on the ride. So I'm a big kid, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I want that now.
Yeah, it's still definitely you can like use it just outside, but you can just like a little added thing for the ride too.
If they made the land a little more interactive and I could like Iron Man blast some crates in the corner and like a smoke effect would go off, I would be so excited. Like, I feel like that's money on the table. They'd be selling so many more if kids could walk around and blast things.
Absolutely.
Imagine like the kids lining up, like the wand interactive stuff. People would just line up just to do the exact same thing over and over again.
AKA the power bands in Nintendo Land.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can earn score by knocking over crates and blasting bad guys. And speaking of bad guys, there's like a ton, I'm jumping around. There's a ton of like superheroes in this land. Like watching your videos, you can't turn around without seeing. You turned around and turned around back again, and the one you were just talking to was a new one. Like they just replaced them instantly, constantly throughout the day.
Yeah, the entertainment factor is like I think the real draw of Avengers Campus. Like the campus is great, the ride is like cool, but like just the immersion and entertainment factor, like I kind of like that's what Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be, but we got it for Avengers Campus.
You're talking about the entertainment, all the people. I need to know because I love Doctor Strange. How was that little show? Since we're jumping.
The show is fun. I think it's a little kiddie, but. He does little magic tricks and stuff comes out. I did see it the latest show, just because the lighting and everything is so much better if you see it at the latest show. But yeah, it's cute. It's like I don't know if I would wait to like see it again, but if I was just passing and it was going on, I'd watch it. But for right now, that's the only way you can see him. He's not really doing meet and greets, just because I guess they have all the Doctor Strange doing the shows.
Yeah, that's kind of weak. I had seen it. It looked a little bit like a kid's kind of like party thing almost, but as long as it's fun, I guess. Doesn't really matter.
He's doing magic and it looks like a kid's party show, so it's like hiring a magician.
Exactly.
Does he do the like hand thing? Do they have any kind of special effect? Like you'll see at Comic-Con, like the cosplayers have the spinning LED lights that look like the actual like projection things coming out of their hands. Like, why aren't they using that, or are they?
They are not. I've seen those are like super cool, but the only time you ever see him do it is like towards the LED screen that's like behind the doors. So no, it's not like up in front of you in person.
They really need to do that.
They really need to hire some cosplayers.
Right? Jumping back to Web Slingers. Well, we kind of mentioned the boarding groups thing. I think that's like the biggest bummer of this is like this is already not like the land's main attraction. So as a secondary attraction, I think it's fine. Uh, uh, and also because like you already have the Guardians, at least you have the Guardians of the Galaxy ride already there. But I'm kind of bummed that the e-ticket wasn't built yet.
Yeah, I definitely like Web Slingers is definitely the smuggler's run to like
Hmm.
the area. Which I honestly I enjoy Web Slingers more than Smuggler's Run. So I think it has just the more rideability factor.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm interested to see how the boarding groups go. When I went, I never got the first boarding group, but it seems a lot of people are having enough luck with like the second boarding group, and they're
Okay.
definitely getting through a lot more. And I've seen even like I said towards the end of the day where they just like start letting people in because they got through. I'm interested to see how long they keep the boarding groups up because unlike Rise of the Resistance, Web Slingers has a way higher capacity and can get through a lot of people more just because it's like continuously loading vehicles. Um, so I'm curious to see how long the boarding groups even last.
Yeah, because that might have been just for pandemic precautions. They don't really have. How big is the actual queue for web slingers?
It's not big at all. They
Yeah.
even opened like a backstage area to like fill in,
Oh,
but
wow.
even when the queue is full, it's probably only like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's so weird. They like a lot of these newer rides, they just don't build much of a queue. And then now this what's going on now with limiting and social distancing, there's just no room for people to wait in it. But yeah, so I wonder because the Indiana Jones Adventure, same thing. They switched to virtual line because there's just not enough room, and it was taking up all of Adventureland.
Yeah,
So
they were
like
using the Jungle Cruise queue line just because that's down right now for refurb.
yeah. So yeah. So maybe boarding groups won't last too long, and then we can talk about the actual attraction in news articles instead. I do love though. Going back to like the Stark Industries thing, I like that the plot of the attraction is the tunnels. Like you go from area to area using the tunnels because it is a really small building and you're essentially just going in a circle around flat screens, but they do it in such a way and they spin you so it feels like maybe you're going from place to place, but it incorporates the locations of Avengers Campus. And I think that's the cleverest thing. This is almost like the people mover of Avengers Campus, where you see all the different places, even though it's virtual and you're not technically going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you go to like Pims, and then there's a port where you like because you're underground for the most part, and then like the
Hmm.
last screen it like pushes you towards the top, and you can see like Mission Breakout, and there's actually like boss battles if you like by like my third ride I realized there's actually like missions you have to complete within like each scene. So
Oh,
keep
so
an eye
like
out
it
for
keeps
that.
escalating if you keep like if you do well, like things actually keep escalating.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the one scene has the alien goo is like the collector's area, and the finale is the Quinjet, which leads me to ask, did they only build the Quinjet and not the ride because they had to because it's in the Spider-Man ride?
Ooh, maybe.
Because they that's like the facade for the e-ticket Avengers ride, and they built it without building the e-ticket ride. And then when I see the web slingers POV, I'm like, oh, that's why they built it. Yeah, okay. It doesn't actually move though. You don't go up right at
No,
that
there's
scene.
just like lighting.
Is there any movement or anything whatsoever? Or are you just stationary? Like, does it rumble at least?
Yeah, there's like a I guess there is I mean, I actually don't remember. I mean, you're so enthralled with like just shooting little
Yeah,
spider bots that like I don't even remember. Even I remember there was a video that came out with like there was no music on Web Slingers, and I was
yeah.
like I wrote it, and I was like I don't even remember if there was music because I was just so like enthralled in like killing these spider bots. But yeah, there's 100% music, and it's great.
Okay. Yeah, well, for the
Hope
space
so.
that it occupies, I think they did a really good job. I'm just wondering because they're also building it in Paris, and Paris doesn't have they don't have the Guardians of the Galaxy. They have an Iron Man coaster that's taking over Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm trying to remember. I think that's what it is. So I
Yes.
wonder if they'll swap out the collector scene and make a new scene with Stark stuff.
I'm sure. I mean, it's all digital. That's easy to replace, I believe.
And that would make it like more unique, but also like the way that this ride is designed, like the storyline, it'd be pretty neat if you visit the different areas of their Avengers Campus and it matches.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Did you notice any Easter eggs around the ride? Hidden things or Marvel stuff?
There's so many Easter eggs in the pre-show room. On the ride, I didn't notice any. Again, I was just killing those spider bots. But the pre-show room there's like you have like the screen where Tom Holland comes up, but there's like a whole desk full of like references to other Marvel properties, but also Disney properties. It's great.
The beginning of the pre-show when the robot lady is announcing Peter Parker, but before he was supposed to come on and he like half
he does a little like jerky, yeah.
He so like good. Starts to come out. That's and then he goes back. That's the most like this Tom Holland version of Peter Parker thing ever. Like he misses his mark and he comes out too early and then he hides back. Like that is the funniest thing. That makes the whole pre-show worth it. I looked up Easter eggs because there was a couple I saw on Twitter, like the outside the gamma radiation pipe is like leaking and one of the trees is really big. There's like small tree, giant tree, small tree. Like that's so silly and awesome.
It's
and,
so good. It's amazing.
Like it's also the only representation of like Hulk in the land.
Yeah, that's true.
Sad.
I know. I like one of the later things we found out. Carly Wiesel pointed out Heimlich's choo-choo train, like carcass is sitting there in I think in the pre-show area. I have to go find that picture again, but because that used to be a Bug's Land around that area, so the carcass of Heimlich is there. The Lego Death Star from Spider-Man: Homecoming is in the pre-show room.
Yes.
What? Oh, the I like the Miles Morales sign, the mural outside.
Mm-hmm. There's like a claw machine kind of like like thing in the corner that has like a Baymax in it, alien from Toy Story, and then the Tough to Be a Bug 3D glasses because that's where it was.
The bug eye glasses.
Oh, that's great.
I'll have to look for that one. That's pretty cool. I love Easter eggs. So, one Easter egg, totally insane. Instead of WD-40, the can says WDI 1401, like the Walt Disney Imagineering, and 1401 is the address in Glendale. It's like that's like the nerdiest Imagineering thing, but it's also like WD-40 seems so obvious. I'm surprised they haven't done that one yet somewhere.
And also like where the two pre-shows like kind of conjoin to before you board onto the ride. If you get off one of the pre-shows, you pass by a bunch of lockers, and they're all from like the younger Marvel hero generations, like Hawkeye and Ironheart and Squirrel Girl and all these other different younger superheroes who we'll see soon, probably in the Disney Plus. Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone said Squirrel Girl's bike is there, and I'm like, Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, Squirrel Girl.
Something like there's a sign for, is it Lucky Dog's Pizza?
Yes.
Hawkeye's dog's name. But like someone said it was for the upcoming Disney Plus show, and I'm like, whoa, they're thinking ahead.
Yep.
So, don't they have something for a potato gun too from Iron Man 3?
They do. The potato gun is also in the pre-show.
Is that what that sign that says like 10 days since potato gun accident or something? Like that's what that's referring to?
Yeah, Iron Man 3, the kid.
Oh, the kid. So the kid is part of Web?
Yeah, in the outside queue they have like pictures of all like the students, and like you have Tom Holland, and then you have the kid from Iron Man 3 there too.
Oh my god. It's okay.
That's so good. That is so good.
It's all connected.
That is seriously very cool.
So it's a good ride. It's just not like the e-ticket ride, which, they keep releasing little bits of information about it, or they mentioned it recently. So it still exists. It's not
like what happened is the Marvel Hotel in Paris opened or is opening, and apparently there was like concept art that they like posted on the wall as like art, and then they recently, like a day ago, took it back down.
Oh. See, that was what like was giving me hope about it. But they mentioned, I think during the dedication for the land, they mentioned future expansion or something.
Eventually.
So I thought, Yeah, well, they might change it though. Like this is that the story of it was you were gonna fly in a Quinjet to Wakanda, and then like eject out of the Quinjet with a jetpack and help fight in a big battle over Wakanda. But due to unfortunate circumstances, we're not going to have, the Black Panther from the movies. So I don't know if they're going to have to change the story for the ride.
They'll probably match it to the new Black Panther movie, which is supposedly more based around Wakanda in general, from what I picked up.
Oh, see that works then, because like Wakanda itself is still a really cool place because like
Yep.
passing through, being in a Quinjet and like passing through the dome into Wakanda would be a really good moment.
Oh
That
yeah,
would be awesome.
absolutely.
You wouldn't want to lose that. The idea though that like I think it was DSNY newscast that suggested that there's a patented technology where it's like a kuka arm suspended from the ceiling or a jib arm of some sort, and we would all be like boarding and locking in to a Quinjet, but then the Quinjet falls away and then we're all separated on these like jib arm things in front of screens and going from scene to scene as if we're on our own rocket packs. And it's like, that's the kind of Disney ride I want. I want the two ride systems in one
Yes.
type of experience. And knowing that they haven't even started building the building for it, it makes me really scared that we'll never get it. But if that ride had opened and Spider-Man had opened together, and I had said it before, if Mission Breakout, that ride and this ride had opened together, this would be like the greatest new land opening in like since Harry Potter, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Opening it all separate, it's hard to take it all in as one thing.
Yeah, well, hopefully that other ride gets built, because I want to do that right now. Wakanda thing.
If only.
Josh Damaro, it's on you.
I mean, I'm sure the pandemic played into it, and then they were already delaying it, but now they might be delaying it a lot more, and I just hope it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote down Taskmaster. This the villain from Black Widow is meeting, or like having a little mini show, not meeting, but like doing a mini show with Black Widow. That movie isn't even out yet. and they have like a little scene going on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess originally, this stunt show was always supposed to happen. So originally, when Avengers Campus was supposed to open last year, prior to like COVID, it was supposed to be promo for the film. So I guess it's still promo for the film.
Yeah. The real life
but-
teaser trailer happening before you.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone's like, "Who's that?" And you're like, "You'll find out July 9th."
And they keep changing Loki's outfit every week for the new show. Like
Insane.
They're on top of it. And we still don't have the child in Star Wars land. And I said both those things wrong on purpose. We don't have Grogu in Galaxy's Edge. There you go.
See, that's the thing. Okay, so I made this point before that I feel like for Galaxy's Edge, they made a point to make it like such in a specific time period. They're like, Galaxy's Edge is taking place between or after episode 9 or whatever. And with Avengers Campus, they're like, listen, you want to meet Sam Captain America and you want to meet regular Captain America, go for it.
So
We don't
good.
care. They could
So
stand
good.
next to each other. It don't matter. This is a crossroads. You can meet anyone here. Yeah, I think it's just fun. I like let a theme park land just be fun. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I want to like meet Baby Yoda, Darth Vader, and Kylo Ren. Like, let me just do all of that.
And old school Yoda.
You can still have your cake and eat it too with Galaxy's Edge if you just did the Jedi training in the land at the Resistance base, because the Jedi training already does have Kylo Ren and Darth Vader, and they say like they're holograms that you're fighting or whatever, and it's a way to incorporate characters from all the different time periods, and it's something fun for kids to do, and I think it adds a lot of energy to the land. So I just feel like if they had done, because Disneyland doesn't even have Jedi training anymore.
No.
We still have it here at Hollywood Studios over by Star Tours, but like it really adds a lot of energy, and the Resistance base area is just kind of dead. Other than like going on the ride, if you're just walking by outside, it's just the sound of antennas going bzz, 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 bzz. That's it. That's all that's happening. Like put the kids show out there, they would love it, and then you'd have Darth Vader.
Yeah, I'd love them to like just take what they've learned with Avengers Campus now and apply it back to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, maybe someday.
There just needs to be more happenings, more what I mean. It was what Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be. We were promised like roaming droids and like so much entertainment, and now it's just like Rey up on.
And
Rey is just like
Yeah.
fixing her speeder on the corner. And you're like,
Let's not get me going on Galaxy's Edge, please. Please.
But yeah, Avengers Campus, you have like the stunt show, you have Spider-Man, you have Dora Milaje, you have meet and greets left and right, you have the Doctor Strange show, and it's all in just like this little, like a quarter of what Galaxy's Edge is. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
That's true. Okay, I did want to talk about foods.
Foods.
You did the PIM test kitchen, the PIM tasting lab, and Terran treats. Did you try the shawarma palace?
I did.
Oh, you did?
There's 2 of them. Yes, there's 2 of them.
Ooh, that's awesome. And one of them was impossible, right? Too?
Yes. There's a regular and there's an impossible.
And do you have a preference as far as
I am a meat eater, so obviously the regular shawarma was delicious. I did try the vegetarian one was fine. It's good.
Yep.
So if you enjoyed that, then there you go. The Greek like tzatziki sauce on the side is extra, but I highly recommend you get it because it's definitely better.
Wait, it doesn't come with it? How do you have shawarma without the tzatziki sauce?
You have to buy it separately, and it's like 75 cents.
Downloadable content DLC for the shawarma.
Yeah, so just remind when you mobile order your shawarma, make sure you mobile order the side of tzatziki sauce too.
Tzatziki sauce is so good too.
Right? Yeah.
It's so good. It should come with shawarma. I'm sorry. It should just show up with it.
How funny is it that was the first Avengers movie, right? Like the post-credit scene, it was just them defeated eating shawarma. Like they were just done. It was a long day for them. Like that was a one-off joke. Like Robert Downey Jr.'s like throwing in this line about like I saw a shawarma place down there because like the set design people put up a fake sign for shawarma. Robert Downey Jr. adds an ad-lib line to the movie. They go back and film. It's like that domino meme. They go back and film the post-credit scene, and years later, a theme park opens a shawarma palace in Avengers Campus.
I wonder how much of a boost shawarma sales got after that.
Oh, everyone went out. I went out to try it just because of that line. I did. I really did.
The Marvel impact.
Anyway, okay, so back to the foods. PIM Test Kitchen. I like with me it's always the giant pretzel. Whenever I want to go to something new, I'm trying the giant pretzel. So how was the giant pretzel?
Giant pretzel is amazing. It comes with a regular mustard and a beer cheese. Both are great. It's my go-to new pretzel now. I mean, a Mickey pretzel is great, but sometimes I feel like they're too dense. This is like a fluffy. The only thing I will say is this might be just because opening day, like they were just like had so many like on the ready that it wasn't like super warm, but I guess eventually they'll make them like to order.
Have you ever had the one in Germany at Epcot or the one in the Pongu Pongu at I think it's the same one in Pandora. I wonder if it's the same one there.
Not. Yeah, okay. I look from the picture. I mean, I think they're both called Colossal Pretzel too.
Yeah. Okay. So I figured it might be the same thing. Disney's spreading out the Epcot pretzel. It's growing to other locations.
Thankfully. Is that big pretzel better or worse for you for the compared to the buffalo chicken pretzel? Because that looks interesting to me.
The buffalo chicken pretzel, it was okay. I think I like the regular pretzel better.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got questions about the beer flight. Was that a seltzer, a lager, an IPA maybe, or a sour, and then a stout? Is that what they gave you guys?
I believe yes.
Because that's what the picture looks like. Do you have a favorite out of the 4 of those?
The stout was definitely my favorite, and I don't even love like dark beers, but it's like just sweet enough to like cut through the darkness. It was my favorite. Yeah, and then they sell it as a larger one with actually like marshmallows and like I think ice cream inside. It's delicious.
That was my next question. If it was the same, just like kind of vamped up bigger for the bigger PIM.
Yeah, that was the molecular meltdown, and they all come in the PIM plastic cup beakers, which are like I have like 20 of them now. My
They're awesome.
entire thing is like full of just Pim beakers.
Oh, those are like souvenir cups. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's pretty cool.
And they only come. That's the only way you can get them. So you're taking one whether you want it or not. And you do with the beer. The beer flight is a little. It's like $35, but because you get to keep the ruler thing it comes on and all the little cups.
Really, that's not not too bad for 35 with all that and the beer. Are the beers local? Are they all local?
I have no idea. They're all sciencey names. So yeah.
Oh, I meant to ask, what's the best thing for like a lunch, like an actual meal at Pim?
Oh, my favorite was the not so little chicken sandwich, which is basically
tiny little bun and a giant thing fried chicken patty.
that thing looks awesome.
Yeah, I just like flick the bun aside and just like cut it up.
Because it's chicken schnitzel is what it is.
Basically, yeah. I saw people like pick it up and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. It's funny to just like watch other people deal with it. But what else? Actually, another one that really surprised me was the peanut butter and the jelly with bacon and bananas on it.
Oh yeah.
Bomb! It was so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make one of those in my house.
And they like candied the bacon too. Yeah, great. I think you can actually buy bacon on the side as well.
The candied bacon.
Yeah, just like straight up from
Pim's, Do you think people are stealing the giant spoons with the meatball?
I mean, I saw a TikTok where someone's like, I didn't know you couldn't take it, and they like pulled it out from their home. So yeah, I think it's turning.
How do you think you can take a giant ladle? It's a huge ladle.
It's sporks.
I was like, it's turning into sporks again. But like, I feel like it might be harder to take the giant spoons. But I don't know. People are doing it.
I saw multiple articles when Leaky Cauldron opened saying, and you get to take this like mason jar, free jar with your potted butterbeer cream. And I'm like, no, you don't. That's not, you're not supposed to take that. That's part of the restaurant. You don't take the silverware, do you? And then Star Wars opened and apparently like people, look, you get a free spork. Oh my God. Do you take the plates too? Like the plates were solid. Why would you take only the spork and not the solid plate?
They should have known that was going to happen. They should have known that was going to happen with the sporks.
They need the ladle needs.
I thought they assumed that the ladle was big enough to like notice.
Yeah, exactly.
But some people have done it.
They need to start putting like the RFID tags that are in the 3D glasses on all these things. So when you leave the area, it beeps.
I think they did when I was around. They did have a lot of like people like just like cast members, Pim's Test Kitchen cast members like roaming around like waiting people to done being like, I can take that for you.
Don't take my ladle. That's my ladle.
Oh man.
The Terran Treats, that's like the collector's area.
Yes, it's right in front of Mission Breakout.
Is Mission Breakout now part of Avengers Campus? So if the area is at capacity, can you not go to Mission Breakout?
Correct.
Oh no.
The Avengers Campus extends from like where the Grizzly Peaks across from that waterfall all the way to the front of Hyperion.
Okay. So Terran Treats is part of Avengers Campus, as is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Okay.
Yeah. Which is like, it's great when you're inside because Guardians is now like permanently at like a 15-minute wait because everyone else is just like roaming around Avengers Campus. And the thing is like Pim has such like there's seating around Pim's Test Kitchen, but again like Avengers Campus was just the Bugs Land area, so there's like not a lot of room. That like a lot of the dining is just like in front of the Hyperion Theater now.
Did you try any of the desserts?
Yeah, I did try both the puff and the spiral churro. I guess they rotate the flavors. Right now it's a green churro that tastes like pineapple, and it does taste like a Dole Whip churro.
What? They rotate the flavors? Like it could be different each day?
Well, they haven't rotated yet, but I just remember promo there were like all these different colored spiral churros, and right now they only have a green one.
Oh, okay.
So like maybe in a couple months a purple one will come out.
But the puff's always the same? The puff is always the same?
The puff is like a raspberry cheesecake filling puff.
Oh, neat.
That doesn't sound bad. It sounds
good. It's pretty good.
Did you get the Infinity Gauntlet to hold the sodas?
No, I didn't. I already splurged on my DLCs. I didn't need an Iron Man cup holder.
Thing seems a little ridiculous.
Speaking of, is there any other merch that you picked up or anything that you thought was cool?
Yeah, I picked up replica like metallic web shooters that don't work on the ride. They're just kind of like display pieces, but they look like exactly like the ones the character wears in the park. So those are pretty cool. And also these Spider-Man light up goggles. It's like his eyes, and
Did you
then
get those? Okay.
I did, and there's like 20 different modes on it. I just saw someone wearing it at night, and I was like, you know what, I got to go back and pick this up. So
it doesn't have like a voice, right? Like you can't click it and go like instant kill, activate it. Like you can't.
No, there's just like a button on the side to change the modes.
That's so neat.
Yeah, but it's
cool.
super cool. And you can see through it, and people can't see your eyes. So that's what I like.
Nice.
I'm like, don't look at me.
Yes, that's awesome.
And then Disney Forever graciously gifted us a giant spider bot, so I have one of those as well.
So okay.
Whoa, that's awesome.
The thing is, this is the sneaky part. Like, they're basically just like droids. You can like have a controller and move them around, but the main like appeal to them is you can battle spider bots. Mm-hmm. So it's worth it to get two of them or find someone else to have a spider bot, because the whole point is you can like battle and shoot each other, and one like wins at the end.
See, to me, it just reminds me of Furbies back in the 90s. Because like you could have one Furby and it would talk to you, but if you had two Furbies and point them at each other, they have conversations.
Exactly.
Which they just had infrared and they saw each other, so they would just be like, nah, oh nah nah, and the other one would be like, nah, ee! And then you realize, wait a minute, what am I doing with my life? So, but like when the spider bot battles, do they don't battle, or is it like Pokemon taking turns and that was effective and then they die?
Oh no, you like on the remote control, you can like there's like different blasters and shooters, and you would like fight like another real opponent, and at the end it's like back piece can like explode
Fly
up,
up.
like kind of has like a spring, so you can actually like kill someone else's spider bot.
It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. The head pops. Its back flies off. I mean, it is kind of brilliant. I think it's funny the way they're promoting it. They're acting like, don't you want this cute little spider bot? And it's like, didn't you see they almost destroyed the Earth? Like these things self-replicate and then they destroy everything. And by the end, if they'd gotten all the way out of Avengers Campus, it's like Grey Goose scenario. This whole Earth could have been overrun with spider bots. And they're like, yeah, but they're cute. Oh, okay.
I already wanted one. You don't have to talk me into it. It's fine.
They're deadly. Don't you see how dangerous they can be?
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being on. Hey, also you just did the VelociCoaster, right, Patrick?
Yes.
What did you think of that? Like, speaking of new rides that you just went on.
I think it's honestly my favorite new coaster. It was like one of the smoothest and fastest coasters I've been on. And I rode it. I rode it at night in the rain, so it kind of hurt a little bit too, but I had a blast.
In the front?
Yes, I did ride in the front.
Yeah, it was the front row already is like, I've ridden it in the second row like 3 or 4 times and I love it. I finally rode it in the front row and I was like, that is too much wind. I'm going to stick to the second row from now on.
Yeah.
I prefer the back of the coasters anyway. I like to feel all that.
It is really good. It is really good in the back, like really good. I've done it now a second time, and I realized that I was wrong. The back is better than I thought.
Yeah, back of coaster is always my preference. I think it's more fun back there. Is that it? Do we talk about everything? Do we cover everything? Is there anything we missed, Patrick?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Oh, I need more rides.
We got more rides. We have Remy's Ratatouille Adventure opening up on October 1st.
Have you guys ever been to Paris?
No,
I have not.
No.
I went for a first ride in 2019. I'm very curious to watch the reactions to Remy's, because It was the most underwhelming ride I ever went on in my entire life.
It's gonna be weird because like a lot of us here in Florida have been looking forward to anything new, and then when we finally get it, we're gonna be like, "That's it." But like,
Yep.
it's not like we weren't warned. It's not like POVs of the ride aren't available readily. I always think of it as like I always thought of it as like the poor man's Spider-Man ride, where like they don't have the peripheral blocking walls on their ride vehicles. So like I feel like you could see where the screen ends on Reddit on Remy. It's not like perfectly like themed the way that Spider-Man is. So I'm curious to see.
Literally, I would compare Ratatouille Adventure to Empire of the Penguin at SeaWorld.
Oh.
Like it's the same thing.
It has twice as many scenes though, so it's already better just by length alone. And also it has Patton Oswalt, so it wins.
It does. In Paris, the best part is ending in the restaurant, and we don't even have that.
Yeah,
that's weird. Like I feel like that would have been a huge success here. Eating like as the size of a rat. Like that's what's so cute. We already have too many good restaurants here in the France Pavilion, so
there's no such thing. There's
exactly.
No such thing. Yeah, saying Epcot has too much food is ridiculous when you have every festival it's food and wine. Come on.
Space 220, here we come.
Eventually. I really want to eat in that restaurant.
I want to know if people will get motion sick on the elevator ride out of that restaurant. You know, going back to Earth. Because you're in a windowless room looking at a screen as you go down, you know, thousands of miles to the Earth's surface.
Right. All of a sudden there's barf bags. Mission Space.
Just like Mission Space.
Alrighty then, on that note.
Patrick, thank you so much for joining us. Where can everyone find you on the internet?
You can find me on YouTube at Patrick Dougal, and then on everything else at Patrick A. Dougal.
Awesome.
Yes, I follow you on Twitter. That's how I first found you. Very good follow on social media.
Thank you.
And to everyone listening, we did recently talk about possible changes maybe being made to the Epic Universe plans on our Patreon podcast. So if you want to hear that, we're working on putting together a big story for a future podcast, but you can hear some of our thoughts for as little as $1 a month, patreon.com/themeparkstop.
And when she says we, she means her. I just talk. That's it.
Well, you had some pretty good speculation. I thought was pretty interesting about maybe some creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Patrick. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.